In tandem with his return to theatre in The Fifth Step, as well as Slow Horses Series 4, Jack Lowden joined us today at the Festival of Politics to discuss his career as well as his views on the current state of the arts industry. We caught up with him to discuss those issues further. So you've starred in a variety of high-grossing films. What's prompted your return to theatre?
Because it's what I love doing, first and foremost, and I haven't done it. I've done one play in about 10 years, so it's if I could, it's all I'd do, because I just love it so much. But I've also fallen in love with making films, so I'm spoilt for choice in that regard. But the main reason I did this play is because of the writer. David Ireland is one of the best writers we've got, and the play is fantastic and odd and mental and terrifying, and was a no-brainer, really. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So how does theatre work compare to working on films? And
it's very, very different. To me, it's very, very different. I think the key is, as an actor, to not feel that it's different, because it can change how you act, and you mustn't really do that. But the experience is totally different from a day-to-day experience. I mean, I just rehearsing this two-hander play, it really is just me and another actor in a room for about 8 hours a day rehearsing, which is very intense and hard, but it's just us. Whereas a film set, I'm not really doing that all day. I'm kind of sat waiting all day. I'm not selling it very much as an actor, but the technical aspects of film are way more prevalent than they are in theatre. So it's really, that's the big difference, is the technology.
okay, well, a good answer. Let's talk about Slow Horses. Obviously, that is a major role for you, I can imagine. I sadly don't have Apple TV.
Unbelievable.
And I'm gutted because I do like a spy drama. I really loved Spooks when that was on TV.
Right.
So,
well,
yeah.
Apple TV then. I'll bung you it.
I'd appreciate that. But what I was going to ask is, obviously, because obviously there've been a lot of spy dramas around. As I mentioned, Spooks, of course. James Bond is another big one. Did you research a lot of those when you were playing your character? Or?
No, not at all. I mean, no. I think the whole point of Slow Horses is that they are supposed to be recognisable. So I think. I mean, the few times in my life I've ever actually worked in an office is probably the most amount of sort of recall I've used from anything. I mean, the other thing is with espionage, you never know what's actually true. So I don't know what, you can get halfway down a rabbit hole and go, wait a minute, is that true? So I purposely didn't do anything. I was quite lazy about this job.
Oh, no, quite understandable.
Yeah.
Because Spooks, you used to watch interviews with some of the cast, and they talk about how they would have advisors who have worked in the security services before, telling them how to behave and what's factually correct and what isn't. Was there any of that in Slow Horses at all? Did you have that link with the security services?
There was one guy right at the beginning. We met an ex MI6 officer who told us a lot of things and showed us sort of anti-surveillance measures and following a mark down the street, and we had earpieces in. That was quite cool. That was very cool. Whether or not he was an MI6, I'm like, well, are you? Were you? Would you tell me that? Are you, So I don't know. But I'm going to play it like, I'm going to remember it that he was an MI6, because then it sounds cool.
Oh, fair enough. So, you've been an advocate, of course, for Scottish independence. In what ways do you think an independent Scotland could benefit our film industry, and are there challenges that you're worried about?
I mean, I've voted for it 10 years ago now. I don't know how it would affect the film industry. I think the film industries wherever they are in the world, I think, the independent film industries are very, very difficult things to keep alive, because of the amount of people that are involved, and the small experience I've had in the other side of the camera in producing is it really does all in the end of the day come down to money. Can you grab the money? Can you persuade people? So whether or not in an independent Scotland that would make much difference, I don't know. I think the arts is always up against it in whatever the political situation is in any country, because it's not always at the top of people's agendas. I don't know if that would necessarily change that. I think we have to just sort of bubble wrap storytellers and the notion of storytellers and hold them on a higher pedestal, I think, no matter what's going on in the country. I think we have to be careful that the importance of our industry doesn't just fall down depending on what's happening in a country, because it can really change things, like you saw with the drama they made about the post office disaster. And you know, it's always there and people always want to go to it at the end of the day. So it's a vital service to me, the arts.
Well, that's perfect. Jack Lowden, thank you very much.
Not a problem.